All right, well, we are going to talk about some breaking news that's happening.
That's right. Former President Donald Trump has been found guilty on all 34 counts of falsifying business records in his hush money trial.
Joining us now live is Fox 26 senior legal analyst Chris Tritico. It is a historic day today. Chris, first off, were you surprised about the verdict?
Not completely. The question for me was, did the DA make that critical link that this was a cover-up, not a cover-up, this was to suppress the election? And once they made that link to the jury, that it was to suppress the election, then the jury was then authorized to find him guilty. The counts were so close. Each count was so close, they were worded so closely. They found him guilty on one. It's no leap to find him guilty on all 34. They were just, the wording was almost identical on each one. It was just dates and amounts that were different. So I'm not surprised you find him guilty on one, you go to all 34.
I think a lot of people are wondering what happens now and next for Trump.
So he's going to be sentenced on July the 11th. So nothing's going to happen between now and July the 11th. They'll just be getting ready for sentencing, for a sentencing hearing that's done by the judge. And he's subject to up to 4 years per count on that. Now the judge can, it's my view, he does not go to prison. All right, let's just get that right out there. I don't think he goes to prison, but he could sentence him to 4 years on each count. He could stack those, or he could run them consecutively if he's going to sentence him to prison. And in my view, Donald Trump does not go to prison. He gets probation. And if he gets probation, he's going to have to do community service, which would be very interesting for a former president to get probation. But that's, in my view, that's what happens here.
Wow. So does this impede his actual possibility of becoming president?
It does not. This is not a disqualifying conviction. There's only certain felonies in the federal system that disqualifies someone from running for president, and this is a state court conviction, not a federal conviction, and it is not a disqualifying event.
So can he vote in the upcoming election?
Interesting question. I looked into that. He is a citizen of the state of Florida. Each state does it differently. The state of Florida defers to the law of the convicting state. And what New York law says is that if you go to prison, you cannot vote while you're in prison. And once you're released from prison, your right to vote is restored. So if I'm correct that Donald Trump does not go to prison, he will never lose his right to vote, and so he can still vote.
And what's your reasoning behind thinking that he's not going to go to prison?
Well, for several reasons. Number one, this is not the type of felony that we would typically send someone to prison for. And number two, he is by law has to be guarded by the Secret Service, and these Secret Service men and women didn't do anything wrong. And I can't see any judge saying, I'm putting you in prison, knowing that he would be sentencing these Secret Service men and women to prison as well. And I just don't see it happening.
Could his remarks that we heard earlier in the newscast impact anything? He's obviously very public and outspoken.
That's a problem, and his lawyers have to know that's a problem, that he has been attacking this judge throughout this whole process, and that's the judge who sentences him. And you know, we tell our clients all the time, you know, don't make caustic comments about the person who has your fate resting in their hands. And he's been doing, he's still doing, he's going to do it all up to July the 11th. And that's the risk Donald Trump takes. And he knows what he's doing, and he knows he knows the risk he's taking by doing it.
Wow. All right. Very interesting and definitely historic day today.
Sure is.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining us and kind of laying it all out. You put it in a way that's easy for us to understand. We appreciate it, Chris. Thank you.
You bet.